What up? You got the Bringing the Business crew in the house, man. BC,
Yeah, Nick, what's going on, bro?
what's up with you, man?
Shit, man, same old, same old. Hey, one thing I did forget because we haven't one we got to get back in the lab together. I've
Yes,
been thinking
sir.
about this. We got to get back in the lab. But another thing, we didn't even show the people our motherfucking bringing the business tattoo.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, you know what? We're gonna do a better way to display it. Don't even worry about it. We're
Okay,
gonna we
okay,
gonna we,
okay.
we gonna we gonna we gonna we gonna do that. Hey, man. Hey, we gotta touch on these playoffs, right? And it's a certain
Yeah.
series. It's a certain series because it got in this particular series got a few players that I've been saying some things about that people didn't necessarily agree with, and I believe that those things are coming to the light right now. And I'm speaking of this Phoenix Suns and Denver Nuggets series in particular. You
Hmm.
checked it? You checked them games out?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
So right now, the series is 2-0 in favor of Denver.
right.
Is that who you had winning the series or what?
I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of felt like Denver was gonna win because one, Phoenix haven't been played. That lineup have been playing with each other for about like 15 games.
I think it's
Whereas you
15
have
games.
Denver who have been playing, yeah. Whereas Denver been playing with each other all year. That same, not just the starting five, but the whole unit. You know what I'm saying? They gel better together. They got better defense. You know what I'm saying? So I did have Denver winning, even though everybody thinking with the firepower, KD. I don't even want to count Chris Paul. We're talking about CP3, but KD and Devin Booker. I mean, okay, who else they got?
See, but okay, then let me give my 2 cents about what I said about them. Now, Kevin Durant, right? I think he is dope. I think he's one of the best. I got him top 20, top 15 of all time, right? Top 20, possibly top 15, but not in the top 10 of all time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
And reasons that I do have him like that, I think that he can't carry a load. Like when you look at when you look at LeBron, right? When you look at
mm-hmm.
um, James Harden, and even to a lesser degree, a Russell Westbrook. When you look at
Let's say Steph
Giannis,
Curry. Steph Curry.
Steph, but see, I think Steph, I think they got a machine over there. So just for the sake of this argument, I'm gonna leave Steph out, right?
Okay.
I think when it comes to you carrying a load, you have to do more than score. And I think Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, people like that, they are elite at one thing. So
Okay.
unless you have the other pieces around you to pick up the slack for those things that you don't do, you're not going to be successful. And I think that's a lot what happened in Brooklyn because all Kevin Durant and Kyrie do is both score. Who's going to get the offense involved? Who's going to do all, you know what I'm saying, do those other things, right? So Kevin Durant left OKC to go to Golden State. That was overkill, bro. Like somebody of his talent, somebody of his stature or whatever like that, to go over there with that already all-time great team was kind of like unfair. And you see, before going there and after going there, where's this same success?
But one would argue that if based off of what you're saying, that's a great basketball move for him because, like you said, his skill set needs those other pieces around it. So, as a basketball man, and you know that, you go there because if you a scorer, and I would argue the fact with you that he's more than a scorer because when he want to, he's a great rebounder. He can block shots.
Not when he want to.
I mean, I
Why is
get it.
that just not?
I mean,
Why is that just not
I
what
get it.
he does? Game in and game out.
But that's my argument with a lot of basketball players, not just him. You know what I'm saying? Why do you go away from the things that's going to help you win? You know what I'm saying? Like when I was talking about in the barbershop about Zach LaVine. Like
Yes.
if you if you are dominant by being aggressive going to the cup, and you're gonna score 30 points that way, why you don't do it all the time? Like a Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler gonna attack you every game. It doesn't matter. That's his game. And he's successful doing it, and he does it consistently every game. KD, he could dominate every game, but why don't you do it? Like, why don't you do it?
If you look at the last 2 games of this series, he's been to the line. He shot 6 free throws.
But if you seen that game, he's deferring to Devin Booker.
That's
I've seen that like the whole third, fourth quarter. He's sitting back looking at that. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
And see, that's like a gift and a curse when it comes to like when he was at OKC with Russ, and Russ see that, Russ gonna be like, fuck it then, I'm gonna take it. You know, which may not be the best thing to do, but I'm just saying that's the attitude somebody like that is gonna have. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, you don't want it, I'll shoot that motherfucker then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he will allow that type of thing to happen, and instead of addressing it, he'll just bounce. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Golden State. Same thing with Golden State, bro. If anything, he should have went to them people and said, get Draymond out of here. But instead, I'm going to just lead in. You know what I'm saying? And I think that move hurt his legacy more than anything. Because think about right now. Right now, that man could be 4 championships in over there in Golden State.
Shit, if not more.
I'm just saying, like, they won 2. So he been gone there since what, the last 4-5 years now? Because he was there. He was there 17, 18. They went to the chip in 19 and lost. He left after that. So that's a good 4 more years. He could be another 2. That's why I say he could be up another 2 championships. But instead of you addressing it as a leader, which he said he wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But instead of you addressing it like a leader, you're going to bounce. And that has hurt your career. And so,
I mean, if you basing it off of championships and stuff like that, yeah. But I mean, he said it himself. Man, I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to hoop, do the best that I can as a hooper. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just following his words. But by the standards of the league or the fans or the media, like we look at it, yeah, it probably has hurt his legacy. But to him, he like, I don't care about that. So I mean, what do you go by? What do you go by? Do you go by what we think is a standard, or do you go by that person and what he feel like his standard is or his legacy? You know what I'm saying? So which one do we go by? You know, when we thinking about it.
And I watched, like I say, I seen this movie before. I know it's still early in the series. All Denver really did was take care of home court. You know what I'm saying? That's all they really did. But I've seen that 10 for 27 before when stuff get tight. I've seen that 2 for I've seen that 2 for 12. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that. 2 for 12. When I say 2 for 12, 2 for 12 from 3.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I mean, but I think a lot of things hurt when Chris Paul went out. And it's the thing, you can't count on Chris Paul, bro. You can't count on that man. Like every playoffs. Like, I mean, the thing is, and I hate to say this, bro, because I hate to keep bringing this person into light, but we talk about Chris Paul like he one of the greatest point guards to ever play the game. What is Chris Paul averaging every year? About 14 points a game, 7, 8 assists a game. I mean,
we like to pick out other players and be like, you can't win with that style, right? Like other players, we like, man, you can't win with that style. Evidently, you can't win with Chris Paul's style.
Hell no.
Because either he's hurt, or when it comes down to the crunch time, he's not aggressive enough and looks to be that point guard that everybody praises him for, instead of taking over the game like he's capable of doing. Not now. I don't think he's capable of it now. But I'm saying over the years, that's been my knock on Chris Paul, who was the second player that I was going to talk about. I've watched him be with them Clippers, right? With that Lob City and everything like that. And when it come down to the come down, you want to get a ball to Bob Mute and Matt Barnes and JJ and them and all that when it's your time, brother. Like Isaiah Thomas was a facilitator. A lot of people don't know that, because you see the scoring or whatever with Zeke. But Zeke averaged 10, 11 assists and stuff like that certain seasons. But when them playoffs came,
he took over.
He took over.
Yeah.
And that's what Chris Paul does not do. And you scared. I remember when he was in OKC and they played Houston. And that was the year he led the league in fourth quarter points. And then even in that particular series, he closed Houston out in game 5 and 6. So game 7 came to the wire. I was scared as shit. I was scared as hell. Like, damn, he finna close our ass out again. Because I was rooting for Houston. Russ was over there. And you remember the way that game ended? If you remember, the game ended with Harden blocking Dort's shot. Remember Dort tried to shoot a 3?
Yeah.
Why was the ball in the rookie Dort's hand? And Chris Paul, you done just closed us. You done just closed us out.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there scared, like, dang, he's gonna close our ass out again. He just closed us out game 5. He let us off the hook. He let us off the hook.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's my problem with Chris Paul. Yes. Is he one of the best point guards ever play? Yes. Is he, you know what I'm saying? Does he turn?
I don't know.
Huh?
And what's standard though, bro? I just don't. I mean, I hate to say it because I love Chris Paul, but I don't get him as one of the greatest point guards ever. I really don't, bro.
When you say you don't have, like, where you got him, like 10th, 11th, 12th, like
some probably maybe top 10 or something. You know what I'm saying? Top 15, but I don't have. I mean, his numbers don't even say it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't get it, bro. And then he constantly hurt. And when the big stage, he's always either hurt or don't show up. So it's like I can't put him at the top. You know what I mean?
But you know what? It's like when you look at his resume is tough.
It is. I'm not denying that. It is tough. You muted.
Yeah, his resume, like when I say his resume is tough, it's like if you go look at it, he's all defense, I think like 9 years. He got like steal titles, he got a couple assist titles, stuff like that. I think he like a 12-time all-star. Things of that nature. So that's why I say he got a tough resume. You know what I'm saying? I think he top 5 in assists. You know what I'm saying? He top 5 in assists, stuff like that, but he ain't my cup of tea either. You know what I'm saying? Like I respect him and I know what he's done and everything like that, but he's not my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I respect this game. I mean, of course, like one knock on probably me and you is like we ain't never played in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So of course we gotta get respect is due. And I do. I mean, he's a great player. I'm not saying that he's not. But I'm with you. Like he's not my cup of tea either. Like I feel like any point guard that is given that opportunity to start every year, in spite of your numbers, in spite of your injuries, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna pretty much be in the same, up at the top echelon when it comes to points, assists, and stuff like that. I believe that'd be the same thing. So I mean, I'm not saying that he's not a great player, but I feel like he's constantly given opportunity after opportunity every year, bro. Every year. Regardless if he get hurt, regardless if he's scoring 12, 13 points a game. I mean, name a top point guard in the league, and you consider him a top point guard in the league when he only averages 13, 14 points a game.
And they even been sending them to the All-Star game the last few years and stuff. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, why?
Yeah,
off a name, Joe.
I agree. Right.
That's just purely off a name.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying that earlier on in his career he should have been there. Yes.
Yeah.
You still making it? You only come on, bro. Like,
yeah, I agree. And see, the third person, obviously, is Ayton.
Oh, come on,
DeAndre Ayton. Now, the last few years, I said I wouldn't pay him. when he was looking for the max deal.
Right.
I said I wouldn't give him that max deal. You know what I'm saying? He wanted the type of money that the people that he came in the league was making, like Trae Young and things like Donovan Mitchell and all them. They got they got like that 176 or that 205 or something like that. He wanted that.
Mm-hmm.
Why? First of all,
exactly.
You've not, and and I'm all about these brothers getting paid, right? But I also think you need to do something to warrant some type of paycheck, right?
Yeah, the production.
I think from a max for a max deal, I think you need to make an all-star team, all NBA team, an all defensive team, something. Like you got to make something, bro. Like what?
Did he make an all-star team?
He's never made an all-star team. Nothing.
Okay. Right.
Like what says that you are a max player, bro? And
I mean, but even that though, where's the access? This nigga don't need to show up.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he caps out of games.
Correct.
Out of possessions.
Correct.
It's like,
correct.
I mean, so why am I paying you that much money? And I can look at the access and show that it's certain possessions that you completely out of the play.
Did you see that possession when Joker was tipping that ball up the other day?
Yes.
He was standing
looking at it
on the baseline, like he literally
looking
out of bounds, standing there.
Yes. Like, get your ass back in the game. What the fuck is you doing? Like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't seen every Phoenix Sun game. What game has he completely dominated?
I agree.
Like, I mean, completely dominated. What game? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, because I haven't seen all the Phoenix Suns games. But I haven't seen, especially on the big stage. On the big stage, when has he dominated a game?
Then why is it that Monty Williams steady want to lead him one-on-one with these guys? We saw Giannis like tear him apart a couple years ago. And now he's trying to leave him with Joker. And he's not that, bro.
And the thing is, he's not that. And I think most of it is a mental thing for him. He
don't have a motor. He don't have a motor. He don't have a big motor.
He ain't no dog.
Right.
He ain't no dog. So if you got a dog who wants to accept that challenge, especially you making that much money, I've always said, B, and you know I'm on the record saying this, defense is a mentality.
Yes.
You got to want that shit, B. You know what I'm saying? That scoring for me is more of a skill type thing, you know what I'm saying, technique. When you defensively in sync, that's a dog mentality, bro. You got to have that mindset. That's what that's all about. Fuck all of that, man. He ain't a good defender. He just ain't good. Yeah, because he don't want to be.
Right. I agree. Because he got the attribute. He's 7 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? Moves fairly well. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just, I know you're talking defense, but got a little soft touch. Got a little, if you look at it, he's shooting like 50-some% from the floor, but he only taking like 10 shots. He don't want the ball like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want the ball. You know what I'm saying? And they ended up giving him, like I say, the 132 over 5 years, right?
Something like that, yeah.
That's what I think that's what they gave him, like 132. But Jalen Bronson got 100 over 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you get paid more than? And I know they say you can't teach 7 feet. You know what I'm saying? You can't teach that type of stuff, man. But you got to be able to look at these, you know, especially you scouting or these GMs. You got to be able to look at these players and tell that they not that, man. Like you getting Bismack Biyombo is giving you a better motor, giving you better effort, giving you, you know what I'm saying? I watched the year before when JaVale McGee was there. They give you more. They may not be as talented or as good as him, but they give you more. You know what I'm saying? More effort.
Because that's what defense is, bro. That's all it is. Yeah. If you fight for offensive rebounds, get defensive rebounds, block, you know what I'm saying? That's your effort. It has nothing. I mean, I don't want to say nothing to do, but I want to say it's primarily about your effort when it comes to defense. Yes. That's pretty much, you have to be able to want to outwork the person.
Yes. And I'm gonna tell you this. I was thinking about something, right? So now you're hearing everybody talk about what Phoenix is missing now. you know what I'm saying, dealing with
Mhm.
these injuries and stuff like that, what's going
Mhm.
on, and people talking about the debt of the you know, of the team and everything like that, right? I think the problem that a lot of the sports writers, the people that's betting in Vegas and everything like that, I think people let KD swing the pendulum too far. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. I think they let him swing it too far. And I watched them do that in Brooklyn, and I definitely watched them do that here and in Phoenix. And what I mean when I say I think they let him swing it too far. Now we know in order for that trade to be made, they traded away their defense and their
Mhm.
depth on the team, right? They traded that away. Everybody knew that. Everybody had that question. You know what I'm saying? When KD came in, that was what was going to be the issue with this team, right?
Mhm.
So now when the team, but they said, but they got Kevin Durant. So forget all the rules that we know about basketball that you got to have some depth, so you got to be so you can rest guys, or you got to have some
Right.
defense, whatever like that. Forget all that stuff that we know that's been 100 years of basketball, 75 years or whatever it's been. We know that to be the case, but because it's him, we're gonna still put Phoenix as the better's favorite to come out the West, right?
Right.
So now you seeing that it's not working, and that's not, you know, you get what I'm saying. Like now it's like, damn, they really ain't got enough depth. They really ain't. Duh. Y'all let that
Yeah.
man come in. Y'all let that man come in, and y'all let that pendulum swing that far and defy all the rules of this game of basketball that we've been watching over these years, bro.
Right. Yeah,
You
because
you
it's like you can't one player can't overshadow what's missing.
correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like he can't be the bench depth. He can't be the defense that you lacking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, regardless, he's one of the greatest players to play. But at the end of the day, like even with Mike had depth on the bench. Mike had defense. You know what I'm saying? Before all of that, even though Mike was still a great player, he wasn't doing all the stuff that he was doing. You still got to build a team.
Yes.
So
And
it's like, okay, yeah,
yes.
he's a good player, but you can't overshadow everything that's missing. And like you said, everything comes to fruition because you see it now.
And they think that just because you put him somewhere, I don't care whatever else you got,
No,
he the all old favorite. No, and that's what I'm
no,
saying. So now
no.
everybody, oh man, he got to play 40 minutes a game. He got to do this. Y'all didn't see this when and it's crazy because people said it though. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
the same people who still voted them to come out said it. Man, they ain't got
Same
no
thing. Yeah.
bench. They ain't got no bench. They ain't got, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got this, but they got Kevin Durant though. So that's enough. No, that ain't how this thing works. The only person that I've seen do this, and I'm just gonna be honest, to a certain extent, is LeBron. Because he covers a
Right.
lot on the court. You know what I'm saying? So even though
But
he
he
has
do a lot though.
right,
He do a lot though. Like you
right,
said, Kevin Durant is a scorer. Like he checks in and out of blocking shots,
other boxes,
defensive
right.
rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't even want to say assists, but you got LeBron who's going to score the ball. He's going to assist the ball. He's going to rebound. He's going to block shots. He's going to get steals. He's all around playing the game. You know what I'm saying? But that's so you can't really, put that into, play with the two players because one person does everything for the so to speak. When one person does a couple things great.
So
You know what I mean?
did he need Steph? I got two
KD,
questions. Hold on. I got two questions.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Did he need Steph? And is Steph ranked higher than him? Like when you doing your all-time great list, are you ranking Steph higher than KD? And did he need Steph?
I'm gonna say yes and yes. Absolutely.
Steph is ranked higher.
Steph is ranked higher. Absolutely. And did he need Steph? Absolutely. I'm gonna
One
argue
thing,
that he needed that whole Golden State Warriors team.
Right. I agree. I agree. One thing that I said around that time, I think KD was scared of two people. I think he was scared of Steph, like court wise, hooping wise, like this little, and I think he was scared of LeBron. So he joined one to beat the other. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't realize, bro. He didn't realize he was a piece away from beating Steph. Like first of all, he had Steph beat that series, period. But I'm saying coming back the next year, all you needed was they had added Victor Oladipo before he even left. They added Victor Oladipo draft night, and then he left July. You know what I'm saying? A couple weeks later, you had what you needed to beat him, bro. But you had to beat him. You had to. One thing about Steph, bro, you got to beat Steph. Like you got to put your foot on his neck, because that little cocky beige motherfucker, man. If you get him a look, like Fred, like I'm not the biggest Steph fan. I ain't no, you know what I'm saying, but I respect the hell out of him. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he the type, you got to put your foot on his neck.
I mean, you're right. I would say I am a Steph fan. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I think in the basketball world, you'd be crazy not to be a Steph fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? How could you not be a Steph fan? You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, with everything that he's done, like we talk about resume, you know what I'm saying? With everything that he's done, you can't, I mean, why wouldn't you be a Steph fan?
Yeah, I'll take that back. Just like Timmy, right? I can't say like I was a big Timmy fan, but I respect the hell out of Timmy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't hear me like dissing or doubting Steph. You know what I'm saying? He just ain't, you got your guys. You got who you root for, or who you whatever. Steph not one of my guys, but I ain't got no smoke with him, or I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I don't root against him or none unless he playing one of my guys. Right. But the respect level, man, I respect the hell out that little motherfucker, man.
Yeah. Got to. You know what I'm saying? He's earned it.
Yeah. And every time you think it's over with for him, he come back somehow.
Oh, yeah. I think the narrative on him every year is something. You know what I'm saying? If it's defense, if he's too small, maybe he's lost a step. Everything is always a narrative on him every year. And every year, he proves you wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for that reason alone, I have the utmost respect for him. And I'm a Steph fan for that reason, because, to be a little guy in the league and to be able to be that dominant year in and year out, you know what I'm saying? It goes to, like we always say, as far as work ethic. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people out here just think like it's pure talent, but it's not. The amount of work he put in.
If you go look at his scouting report coming out of college, man, he overcame all that shit that they said he couldn't do, and you know what I'm saying, he wasn't gonna do. And for him to be a smaller guy, man, so big ups to Steph, man. No, like I say, he's not personally one of my favorites, you know what I'm saying, one of my guys that I root for, but he must see TV when he on. I watch him. I gotta watch him. You know what I'm saying? He amazes me. You know what I'm saying? And I respect him. Now,
so
go ahead.
I'm about to say, so if you had to pick a team in your starting five,
all time.
Let's say, okay, all time in your starting five.
It's tough because, like, how do you pick them over Magic though? Like, let's shelf this.
Okay. We'll come back to it. We're
gonna shelf this and come back to that. Okay. But we're gonna shelf that and come back to it. So,
okay.
Like, in closing, do you think Phoenix in trouble?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a lot that has to happen for them to win a series. First of all, Chris Paul has to come back. They don't win without Chris Paul.
It's a growing.
So what? He could be gone for the whole series.
That's
Going
what
Chris
I'm
Paul.
saying. That's what I'm saying. That shit lingers on like a
Yeah.
growing.
So if he don't come back, the series over.
And then now at this stage of the playoffs, the game is every other day.
I know.
So you're not getting that rest, like them 3-4 days of rest. You know what I'm saying?
I
In
know.
between time.
So I go on record to say, if Chris Paul don't come back, and if Ayton don't step up, the series is done. There's no way they come out. They winning against Denver.
What does a sweep do to KD's legacy? And the only reason I'm singling him out, Buck's still young. So, you're going to kind of get him a pass, and he's not on their level. CP3 old, and he's hurt now. Ayton, we don't think he's like that anyway. What does a sweep do to KD's legacy? And mind you, that'd be 2 sweeps in the playoffs back to back.
That's a good question. I know a lot of people say it would hurt him. Say it would hurt his legacy. But I think it's kind of unfair too, because it's like you're relying on one person when it's a team sport too. Like, I mean, so even if he win one game because he dropped 50, I mean, he can't do it the whole series. You know what I'm saying? So let's say, for instance, this game coming up, he dropped 50 and they win game 3. He not gonna drop 40, 50 for the next 4 games. You know what I'm saying? To make them win the series.
But I think a sweep hurts.
I mean,
Especially
in media
coming
standpoint, yeah,
off
it
another,
will hurt.
especially coming off another sweep.
Yeah, in media standpoint, in the game of basketball, people will say it hurt. I would say, yeah.
So let me ask you this in closing too. Before the series, one of the reasons that they picked them to win, even though they knew the lack of depth and everything like that, was the fact that people felt that they had 4 stars on the team.
Ooh.
Right? I'm just
Supposed
saying that. Huh?
Ayton supposed to be the 4th star.
I mean, but that's what was said. They supposed to have 4 stars on the team, right? So from a coaching standpoint, even though you don't have a debt, as a coach, can you stagger them 4? Like at any given moment, 1 or 2 of them should be in the game at all times. You got 4. You know what I'm saying? We don't believe that it's 4 stars, but I'm saying just thinking of what the media said and what was supposed to be, what this team was supposed to have. Should he have been able to stagger them 4? Like, okay, if Book and KD ain't in, Chris Paul and Ayton is in. Or you know what I'm saying? So
I mean, a perfect world, with what they expected of them, yeah. But I don't consider the Ayton the 4th star, because even with him in the game, he still don't show up. Even if you're trying to feed him, he still don't show up. So
yeah.
I mean, I just think from jump, the expectation was what's the name of it? What's the word? It was too much put on them. You know what I'm saying? Because you really only got 2 stars. Chris Paul is a star by name as of right now. He's not the same
reputation or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's not the same player. You know what I'm saying? So no. And then Ayton doesn't show up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say no to that too.
Yeah.
So no.
I agree. So what do you out of series? Call the series.
I'm saying Denver. Denver. I mean, I say Denver in 5. Oh,
Denver in 5.
Well, I'll give it 6. I
Okay,
say maybe get 2.
I'm gonna tell you like this. If Denver go up 3-0, it's a sweep. Because that what that's gonna tell me is you don't have nothing to counter them. Like they
just don't have enough.
Game 1, they came out and blew you out basically. Game 2, it was tight, but they was able to pull away with Jamal Murray shooting 3 for 15.
Yeah.
So if you come out game 3 and just flat out lose, that just let me know you don't have nothing for them people.
Yeah. I mean, I can't argue that. I mean, I think they at least get 1 or 2 games, but they gonna lose a series regardless. But I mean, if they go 3-0, yeah, one will argue it's probably a wrap. We'll see though. We'll see what's tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see because if
you will know real soon.
Hell yeah, we'll figure it out real soon.
Yeah. All right, y'all, man. We just wanted to come in, chime in on that series. We're gonna chime in on a few more of the series and obviously a few more things, that we want to discuss. So want to thank everybody for subscribing, watching, sharing everything on all of our platforms.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So bringing the business, baby. Peace.
All right, man.